for a better day, I've been wishing. I thank God that I'm alive and that I'm not in prison.
I am a woman and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
I'm a woman and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
I am a man and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
I am a woman and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
I am a woman and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
I am a woman and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
I am a man and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
I am a woman and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
I am a woman and I will not be a victim of domestic abuse.
Many women and men suffer from domestic abuse, but suffer in silence. 2 women are killed every week in England and Wales as a result of domestic abuse. Domestic violence has a higher rate of repeat victimization than any other crime.
Violence has impacted my life for over 20 years now. I got married when I was 17. It was arranged. I had no say in the matter. We settled in, got used to each other. And then one day he hit me. It felt so unreal. Did my husband really hit me? He was really apologetic. He gave me flowers the next day. In fact, every day after that he gave me flowers. Until one day I decided that flowers couldn't make up for the mental torture he put me through and the physical abuse I suffered.
According to Holdsworth, Munro and Stewart, family-only batterers show low severity of violence, low generality of violence, low criminal involvement, low to moderate depression and alcohol abuse, and moderate levels of anger. Family-only offenders are predicted to have the fewest attachment problems, though they may have a preoccupied style and be over-dependent on their partners. Preoccupied individuals are described as having a negative self-model and a positive other model, and are typically insecure in close relationships, being jealous and possessive. This group is called the low pathology group.
For years I've been suffering at the hands of this man. I just wanted it to be over. I wasn't in love with him anymore. Because one day I woke up and I just realised that love isn't about physically hurting the one you love. No. One day he came home late, really upset. And I asked him what was wrong. And he just lashed out at me. He just beat me up and stomped my head multiple times. Lucky to be alive. I woke up in hospital after a 3-day coma and saw him sitting next to me. And I realised that once again he had lied about what had happened. Fresh from a coma 3 days later, I had to plan to get away.
Men can also be victims of domestic abuse. I mean, society has made people think that because we are men that we have to live up to this certain persona. But we're human too. And just because you're going through that ordeal doesn't make you less of a man.
Domestic abuse doesn't discriminate. It can happen to anyone regardless of race, gender, education, sexual orientation, religion.
I woke up and said hello, acting like I couldn't remember what had happened. Where am I? What happened? I asked. He said we were robbed and I got hurt really bad. I asked him if he was okay and he said yes. He He asked if he could get me anything. And I said I wanted some home-cooked food. But he said no. He didn't want to leave me. I don't know what I did or how I did it, but I managed to get him to go out and get me some tea. And then as soon as he was gone, I took off my gas mask and all the tubes from my arm and started to escape.
Borderline offenders show moderate to high levels of marital violence, extrafamilial violence, and criminal involvement. This subtype is also predicted to have borderline or schizoidal personality disorder, moderate levels of alcohol abuse, and high levels of depression and anger.
As young people, we're very social media aware. We spend so much time on social media or online. Whatever it is, you always see an ad for products or merchandise services, but you hardly ever see an ad telling you what to do or where to go for help if you ever find yourself in that situation.
I ran across the corridors in my hospital outfit and finally found a storage room in which to hide. I must have been there 10, 15 minutes, crying and contemplating my next move. Should I go back? Maybe he'll change this time. I was so confused. And the door opened and a woman came in. I tried my best to hide, but there was no hiding in that storage space. "Oh my God, Brina," she said. "You've got the whole hospital looking for you. Your husband's really worried about you." I just broke down and fell to the floor, crying. She crouched down and put her arms around me. And she said, "He's the one that's hurting you, isn't he?" And then she said, "Don't worry. He won't hurt you anymore."
There's so many people out there that you can actually speak to about this. So many charities, so many people that are actually there to help, genuinely help.
I will never forget what that nurse did for me. She gave me £50 and she wrote Women's Aid on a piece of paper and gave me the telephone number that I should call. She also gave me her telephone number and said that she would call me after her shift. She sneaked me out of the hospital and put me in a cab. She put her arms around me, wiped away my tears and told me to stop crying. She said it was over. She won't hurt me anymore. I will never forget what she did for me.
Narcissism is excessive interest in or admiration of oneself or one's physical appearance. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. But behind the mask of ultra-confidence lies a fragile self-esteem that is vulnerable to the slightest criticism. There are two types of narcissism: vulnerable narcissism and grandiose narcissism, the grandiose type being the more severe. This personality type is demonstrated in dominance in close relationship.
To recognise the signs is hard because people stay quiet so that you wouldn't know. A lot of the time, all it really takes is someone to talk to. If you know someone who has become fragile, scared, or less like themselves, then offer them a shoulder and really speak to them. Offer them your care and support. A lot of times people give up hope and lose value of themselves. Let them know that they are worthy.
Please don't suffer in silence, because so many people do, but not everybody makes it out alive. I did. You will.
Smiling so much you believe it was my birthday. Happy, I just wanna be that. Me sad haters wanna see that. Little idiot.
Sometimes it feels like the weight of the world's on my shoulders, and I still smile even when I feel I can't go on much longer. I'm only human, and I hope you understand. I'm only human, doing the best I can. Oh.
Thinking back on when my life was easy. Whenever I was hungry they would feed me. I couldn't even speak, didn't even have teeth, but they understood, it's like they could read me. Talking about the days when I was just a baby, young, stress-free with a heart full of bravery. At times I've been so low, it amazed me. I can still have a smile like a nigga paid me. I sit and think about having a baby girl, and all the stress of bringing her up in this crazy world. What if I don't blow and music doesn't pay me well? I've been through pain but I just smiled through the pain I felt. In the house of pain but I'ma soon walk out, and leave my haters with nothing for talk about. Believe me, I'm far from sidekick, but I got a feeling my life's so sad out.
Sometimes it feels like the weight of the world's on my shoulders, and I still smile even when I feel I can't go on much longer. I'm only human, and I hope you understand. I'm only human, doing the best I can.
Why?
I'm only human, and I hope you understand. I'm only human, doing the best I can.
Whether you're a worker or you're a student, remember there's always room for improvement. I examined the world and made a conclusion. I'm a boy, you're a girl, and we're only human. On this life journey, some are only cruising, while the others speed to the point of confusion. When you're feeling like you can't face it, just remember life's when you make it.
I'm only human, I hope you can understand. All I do is try to do the best I can, and I'm only human. It's not my fault, I try my best.